Hey, this is another episode of Candace Michelle Views, where I give my opinion on what I am viewing in any mainstream media platform or any media platform that you could think of. I do like to give my opinion on things that they are pushing and shoving down our throats. So today I'm gonna give my opinion on Lauren London. She's a A-list actor. I believe everyone knows Lauren London. She's like really up there, and I believe that Lauren London is playing multiple roles. I'm not sure who's the original character. I believe that Lauren London is not the original character. Lauren London, she gives a background of, I believe she says like her father's important, but like, she didn't get along with her mother. I'm not sure who her mother is or who her father is, but I believe her father is like some important guy. I'm not sure if he's like, I believe he's possibly white or Jewish or some form like that. I could be wrong. He could be black, but I do know that he is somebody important, and she does mention him, and that's just like another indicator how they like to speak. They always like to say that they get along with their fathers and they don't get along with their mothers. Like a lot of the women in the industry like to give those kind of narratives. And the movie that she played in ATL, it seemed like it was like an outbreak movie of her actual life and role of her being a daddy's girl. The father's rich, and she wants to be down with like the hood, but she's really like a girl from like a really nice background, and she's living like this double ultra life. So I do believe that that movie ATL was kind of like her outbreak role of kind of like what her character as Lauren London is. So I believe Lauren London is most likely a made up character. I believe she was never the original person that's playing these multiple roles, but yeah, like she's definitely a player. They always give these she definitely has the pictures of the elites, how they make them take these, Pacific kind of shots just to pledge or like to throw it up that they are part of the gang of the upper elites, and one of their puppets that help get their influences and their manipulations across to the mass of the people that people like me that they're putting all these things on TV and anything you could think of to influence. And she's definitely a player in that game. So I do want to go over more than one person in this video. Lauren London has been very busy. She's a big player in the game, and I believe that she does play one of the roles of Mehgan James. And Mehgan James, we know her from the Bad Girls Club Mexico. And we're going to get into how they are twinning, or most likely the same person, or maybe first cousins, possibly sisters, half sisters, something like that in that nature related. But for some reason, they're telling the media, the mass, they're telling that they're not related at all. But I just find it funny because they're very much so look like they could be not the twins, if not the same person, in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, we first met Lauren London in this video. I believe that's when Lauren London, the character, hit the scene. She was in Pharrell's video. Not sure exactly what the name is, but I think everybody's familiar with this song. I can't play it because they'll be on my back immediately on this video, so I can't really play no music and things like that. I'm gonna try to stray away from any kind of music that's in any of these clips and put it on mute, just to avoid any of my videos being taken down. So yeah, let's get into Lauren and her characters that she played. We all know Lauren London is the mother of Nipsey Hussle's son, as you can see right here, and she's also the mother of Lil Wayne's child. And I always continue to tell you, I don't know where they're getting these children from, and it's very possible that they could be using one of the parents' DNA, since the children sometimes they could look something like the parent, but it usually just looks like one of the parents, as I always advise They never look like both the parents, or look like they're mixed. It's always like a real strong indication that it looks like one of the parents. And then they may use like, and if you go into, I will probably show you at the very end, to this page that I feel like this guy, he gives very good insight on like how the earth, like not flat earth, but he says that we're on a crater. I feel like he best explains what's kind of situation that we're in as far as the earth goes. I don't believe it's flat. I do side with the YouTube page that I will show you at the end. It's like God Mustaine or something like that. That we're on a actual crater, and it's a big platform, a crater. And that's where they're getting most of the planets and stuff from. It's not out of space, but actually on the same crater. Check out that guy's channel. I think he best explains his theory as good as I feel like any other theory has been explained. I kind of side with that one the most. So anyway, I got sidetracked, but yeah, if the parent, like he in that YouTuber, that's why I got sidetracked. He does explain in his recent video of what he believes, because everyone is knowing that these children are popping out like popcorn. So he gave he never goes over how children and stuff were made, but his recent video, he actually came and gave an explanation on how most of these children are probably coming about. And that's a big indicator that I was never on the wrong track of saying where they're getting these kids from and take them back. I've always felt like where all these children coming from, and if you look at that video, he kind of gives like a really good explanation of what I was trying to explain, but he gives way more articulate information of it. And I will try to remember to show you that page so you could check out that video of, because I do side with that theory as well of where these children are coming from. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so because I believe the child looks something like it could be Nipsey, but he doesn't really resemble Lauren. He has dimples and stuff, but people have dimples, so it's like they always look like only one of the parent, and I believe as that YouTuber said, that they have like this, they have this like queen egg, and let's think like Kylie, one time Kylie Jenner, she put up a Halloween costume, or she did like a party of this show called Tales, where they have like these discreet women like captured, and they're just there to just bear children for the elite upper class people. So think that when you look at that YouTube and he explains about the queen, like ants, where they have like this queen, like he says, like they produce millions of ants, but only one or two out of those millions of ants are going to be able to produce, and the rest of them are just androgynous. Okay, like no gender, they're not able to reproduce or nothing. It's just the queen that reproduces only. So think that when you see all these children that look just like one parent, it seems like maybe they're giving one of them supplying the sperm, but the egg is not coming from these mothers and things like that. It's coming from this specific queen. Okay, so that's another video for another time. But as I say, like, I really don't think that these children look anything like the one parent. Always look like only one. And then sometimes I feel like they try to line up children that looks exactly like someone, and that's possible as well, where they may not be related at all. But that's a theory. I have no idea exactly how they're popping these kids out like popcorn, but they're definitely born into the game. Okay, all of these people are born into the game. All right, and playing multiple roles. So I just felt this was funny how Lauren London posted a picture of Snoop Dogg and him and DJ Dillinger. I don't know his guy name, sorry. But she puts mood. And it's weird because the selection of the picture is like an old photo of Snoop Dogg, where he looks extremely like Nipsey in this picture, Okay, I didn't get to Nipsey yet. Let's see, maybe it's next. Where he looks just like Nipsey in this picture. She is like, like she's throwing it in our face, I can't figure out who would be playing Nipsey. I think Nipsey at some point was a real character, but not like a real person in like the world, but like always knew, born into this situation, and always knew that he was going to be playing a role. But I do believe that they have other people played Nipsey towards the end, and Snoop is the only person that really fits the bill. Okay, so I think Lauren London is kind of like stamping that, because you're like putting up a picture of an old picture of Snoop. Snoop has a million pictures, and you chose this one, and he looks so much like Nipsey in this photo, and then she puts mood. So I just want to throw that out there. Plus, here she goes throwing it up again. This is not really the peace sign. They make sure that they do it this way. I've showed you this sign plenty of times from like Meg the Stallion and stuff, where they have their fingers separated and the thumb out. It's basically the Baphomet sign, where it's a part of what they worship, which is very evil like tendencies of this cult that they are a part of. So looks like Lauren London gets very long well with Lil Wayne's other children of the mothers. And all of them are very suspect. I mean, what happened to this girl? She never looked at like this before. And I know she had a million children, but these people are just playing roles, and they changing them out, I believe, at points. This isn't the same girl from the very first time, but they still want that character to be on scene. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how chummy they are. This is like made for TV. It never really happens in real life. And even if it does happen in real life, I mean, what's the point, right? Like, so this is just like things that they try to promote, where it's like a lot, they want you to have a lot of children all over the place, no marriage, no real family structure. I believe that's just the influences of it all. She gets really along with Regine. She always likes to shout Regine out, and Regine likes to speak, have little scandals and things in the media, like, oh, I could talk about Nipsey, and Regine was saying, because she's related to Lauren London through her older son, with Lil Wayne. So they're all part of these roles that they know they're going to play later on in life. They're all a part of it. They all are hip to what's going on. I did want to throw in Nipsey and his other family as well. These people are a brass family. If you count everybody that's involved with all their baby mother, all their children, all the connections, it seems like it's about 15 kids that are like half, whatever. A lot going on. But yeah, if you want to pay attention to this, I believe that Lauren London is also not only playing the role of Mehgan now, when she got older, as she got older. But I believe when Lauren London was young, and as I stated, I don't think she's the main character. That I think when she was young, she resembled this girl a lot. Okay, so this is like a trio situation. This is an example of that they could be very much well playing multiple roles. If I do a video and I say, hey, this person was playing this role, and somebody else does a video and say another person was probably playing this role, and they are very like similar too, I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes they filled in. Look at the Kodak black guy. Looked like he had about 5 felons. Okay, so you got to think that it's possible that they are playing more than one person, and that the role calls for it. As Jim Carrey said, if the role calls, they had him playing Joe Biden recently on SNL. He said he's out of the game, but if the role calls for him, he goes. They call him, and he has to go and play that role. Even though he doesn't even resemble Joe Biden, they wanted him to play that role. So, you got to think of how the rules is for them. If they call and they say, come play the role, that's what they're doing. I believe that they recently just changed out the Chyna hustle girl, because as recently, she looked at a hot scolding mess not too long ago before Nipsey passed. And then right after Nipsey passed, it seems like they changed the rollout, and she looks like a whole different woman now. And she's, as she says, she's like, I'm at an uncomfortable stage of my life where my old self is gone, but my new self isn't fully born yet. Stay tuned. I mean, come on. Pay attention. They tell you right before your eyes. They changed this lady out. This was Laura London playing at some point. Now they have a new improved version of her. From what I saw on other people's YouTubes, I believe the guy YouTube name is 10KV Reviews. I could be saying it wrong. But he does a lot of Nipsey Hussle videos where he was following the death and been following the case. And at one point, he even said that he believes these could be the same people. But then he took it back. I don't know, he got scary or somebody said something to him because he was like apologizing about a lot of stuff. But he wasn't on the wrong track. A lot of his stuff, it seemed like he was like showing us real information, like pictures and things like that, and giving his opinion. And I felt like he was on the right track. So yeah, this lady here, they have multiple pictures of her recently, and she doesn't look like the hot mess that she looked like prior to Nipsey passing. I believe they changed this character out, and also they say recently Chyna Hussle is actually working in a business owned by Black Sam, which is Nipsey Hussle's older brother, okay? Which I believe also helped play the role of Nipsey as well. You know, I'm not sure how they played this role. I'm not sure if they kill these people off and then take their character or sold their character off and they do something with these people. They let them go on to an underground. It's a lot of underground cities and underground situations going on. Other areas that we never explored past the areas that we're not allowed to be in. You never know if these people are trading in deals to go live a better life to where we are restricted of being. So, yeah, so Chyna Hussle, if you look at a young age, they are resembling a lot, okay? And even a lot of people say, like, oh, Nipsey had a type. Like, that was like their joke about it. Like, oh, Nipsey had a type. But, you know, if you look at the hairline and things like that, it seems like it's the same kind of thinning kind of box hairline. They obviously have the same kind of eyes and nose, and you know, everything is there. I believe they just threw in the piercing to throw you off. Okay, they have to do things to throw you off a little bit. They can't make everybody as super identical. They do a lot of things to change up a little thing, and you'll be like, oh well, they look a little different. Yeah, but people are supposed to look a lot different. They're supposed to resemble and remind you, but they're not supposed to give you twin identical sister, you know, vibes. They shouldn't, okay? Especially if they're speaking the same and everything like that. It's just too many things that are connecting that is in syncing, okay? So yeah, I believe that, you know, Chyna Hussle played this role, or whoever is the main character is playing this role. They look similar when they were younger. This is Laura London at a younger age. Look at her broad smile and deep dimple. Then eyebrows. They like to have their hair pulled back. Yeah, it kind of, and then they did have a story of Nipsey Hussle. At some point, Laura London and Nipsey Hussle broke up because they stated that Nipsey Hussle stayed in a hotel room for like 2 days or something like that with Chyna Hussle and got caught with her outside. Like they came out at some moment and they was like, oh, it was found. And then next thing you know, she breaks up with Nipsey for like a week or two. Remember, I think Nipsey made an announcement like, oh, I'm single, we're not together anymore. But then they ended up back together a month later. You know why? Because they wanted to have damage control. She came out Nipsey at the time was supposed to be with Laura London, but she probably had not everything on point and was looking more like her. So then when they got with saying, oh, Nipsey's with Chyna Hussle, they had to roll with it and say, you know, well, we're going to have to do a fake breakup because somebody saw me out without all my little add-ons to be her. Okay, if you get what I'm saying. Nipsey was never with her. See, they're the same, in my opinion, allegedly they're the same person. So when she didn't put on her add-ons and they got caught together, they had to do damage control like he was cheating, when he really was just with the same person in the first place. And that's why they ended up right back together a month later, if you get what I'm saying. No backlash, no repercussions behind him cheating, because he was never really cheating. Okay, so here goes the other person. Let's get back to Mehgan. We're going to be going back and forth because I believe that is three people, same people, allegedly, in my opinion. This is Mehgan James from the Bad Girls Club. I mean, if you can't see the resemblance in here, because it's a lot of difference, they didn't do much here. They didn't do much here. It seems like they added on probably a little bit of like prosthetics, and I'm gonna do another a rant video. If you haven't saw a show on Netflix called Six Underground, I believe Ryan Reynolds is in the movie. He stars in the movie. They show a lot in that movie. They explain a lot. They try to give you an insight on a billionaire's life and how they make moves. You should check that movie out. They also show you where they put on the very thinnest latex prosthetics on their face, and that's what I try to explain to you. What they do most of the time is like a buildup that peels off. So even if they were pulling on their skin or their cheeks, it will not come off unless they peel it off. Okay, check the movie out. See how they add on to the nose, how they add on to the chin to change up a little bit of the features. I believe a European lady, she wanted to change her features up to look a little bit more Jewish. So they added on to the nose and her chin, and so did the guy. And they pull it off right in front of you to show you that this is very much possible to do. So yeah, they do a little bit of they heavily make her up and do things, but it's still 100% there. Okay, so Mehgan, she's from the Bad Girls Club Mexico, and let's just take a look at her.
Day 3, and Rima and Mehgan really pop off. It's time for the.
Now, I'm not going to show you much of the fight, just in case they may try to flag me. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of it.
Rima, you wrote $700, yeah, right, on my picture. Why do you guys have to hate on me? At this point, I'm livid. Okay, let's go see it. Let me go see it. No, I'm not going to go see it. Bitch.
Now, as you can see in that clip,
my name is Lauren London, and I play the.
And now you can already hear the voice. But if you could see in that clip, you could tell they let Mehgan at her. She just put her head right down, and Mehgan latched onto her hair. So this is very scripted. I want you guys to understand that. They wanted Mehgan to have the persona like, oh, she got hands, she's hood, like she's very pretty. But she got hands, and I mean, it's just not the same persona that Laura London takes on. That she's like this pretty prissy girl, but don't get it twisted. She's like, you know, she's down and she could get down. It's just not the same persona and same script role that Laura London takes on. So we're gonna look at the show that Laura London was recently on. It was Games People Play on BET.
The king.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new king of Los Angeles, Marcus King.
I don't think that she expected to not be her own woman in the sense that everything, her whole life is revolved around her husband.
Okay, so that show, she had a gun on her. She was jumping on girls. So this is kind of the same persona that they gave Mehgan.
Now it's day 3.
Where she was not playing no games with anybody.
My name is Lauren London, and I play Vanessa.
Where she was not playing any games with anybody, and she was jumping on people, as in this role where she was like, you know, ready to kill. I think they were accusing her of murder. In this show, she did something where a girl died because she got pregnant by her man or things like that, and then she was running around with a gun. So yeah, same script, same role.
Are you that mad that you got a little bit of job?
Okay, so this is another they just throw these. This is why they have these people play all these roles, because it's like a lot of shows that a A-list celebrity probably would never play in, which is like a reality show. But they call for the script. It calls for them, and they're actors, and they have to do what they need to do to influence people. In this show, Mehgan James was on Basketball Wives. They transferred her there at some point. Now at first she said she was from Texas, but now she's well in LA, just like Laura London and everybody else I accuse of being twins. They all live in the same state, the same area, the same block, probably in the same house because they're the same person. But anyway, this role, Mehgan James, she didn't stay long. This is the one season she was on. This one season she probably wasn't feeling it and was like, you know what? I'm Laura London. I'm more important than this. I don't want to play this reality role. And we haven't seen Mehgan play another reality show since. Okay? I mean, if you're a reality show girl, how do you get the choice on what work you want to do, and why wouldn't you be playing more reality shows to get more checks? Even though if you go to her Instagram, Mehgan doesn't look like she's living a bad life. She look like she's making money. I don't know where and where from, but this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It gotta make sense at some point where a lot of these people, they play like one role on a reality show and then they go on for the rest of their life living very good, like on yachts and this and that. And you know, they're all sex slaves. You know, that's my lingo. This is what I believe allegedly all of them are. They make most of their money. Even Jerea and all of them, they make most of also her. I think they're not making money off of these guys having children. Most of these guys, they're strapping up with legal teams as they show in the media. That's all they want real people to do. That's why they show stuff like this, where they're like, oh, I'm not paying child support and I don't have no money, and try to like make sure that the girls get it as least as possible. So where are they making all this money from? Having their own homes, going on all these lavish vacations. Yeah, they make their money off of being sex slaves for older, really rich people. They get down and dirty. As you saw the girl Trey Songz, where she was on her knees, just like being a mop to his genital area. And they probably were doing this performance in front of a group. You know, they probably get their checks that way. That's where I believe they all getting their money from. They do these roles, and they also
are you that mad that you got a
they're
little bit
also
of
sex slaves. But yeah, let's look at the Lauren London / Mehgan in this part where they threw her in Basketball Wives.
then you should have just had the surgeon. Bitch, are you still talking about it? Yes. Why are we still talking about it? It's fine. It's done. It's over.
You just really just went in on her whole life because she was trying to have your back.
No, I didn't go in on her whole life because she was trying to have my back. I went in on her because she's continuously talking about me behind
Continuously, is
my
that
back.
more than
What
once?
else?
Because that's
Continuously
more
is
about
more
you
than once. What else did she say besides this? Besides this?
Okay, so Megan Rowe, when she played in this, she announced that she had an abortion at some point, and that's where Drea was making fun of her fupa, which is the fat upper part area above your vagina area. That's what this clip was about, and she tried to make a serious of it, saying, you know, you're making fun of my fupa, but you know, it could have occurred from me having an abortion at some point, because she felt like she wasn't ready to have a child. I just feel like they just influencing people to have abortions so they can snatch up those baby parts. You know, they use it. I believe if people have an abortion, they better take all the parts and everything they could take with them. If you have a child, take your the stuff, the afterbirth with you, because they are utilizing every nook and cranny of any kind of parts of anything, of a human, of an animal. So yeah, they're influencing people to get Lauren London job was to influence people to get abortions, you know. And yeah, let's look at the double clips of them. Okay, I don't want any music in here, so let's just take a look. Look how they both like close their eyes the same and look the same. Take another look at that. Look how they both have that same stare, same eye, like everything is identical with these people. I believe that they heavily make up and put a little bit of plastic, it's like a thin layer of things to just change the cheekbone probably and things like that. Just a tiny bit, but they they don't think that people are gonna ever put two and two together, so they don't really do much changes with some of the characters, because they don't expect the people to really put two and two together and really compare them side by side. And when you side by side them, they're in sync. They're just in sync. Listen to the voices. It's identical.
Got it. How to handle yourself when you get pulled over. Right. That's more of my education. Yes, protecting them being black men in America.
Jada dedicated the episode.
Okay, I got better clips than that. Let's.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lauren London, and I am sitting here with the amazing Nipsey Hussle the Great. This is the GQ couples.
You see how they both tilt their head to the side?
He's always ready. See, he stays ready, so he doesn't have to.
They speak exactly the same.
He's like, no, I need air to be circulating because my dad had COVID. And
You got the script.
Movie of all time. if I'm an actress. So, what is my
So
favorite
did you hear her
movie?
just now? Nipsey says something like, you have the script, and she said, yeah, because I'm an actress. That's what she just said. I didn't really catch it, but you know, if you hear it, it's there.
Of all time. Movie of all time. If I'm an actress. So,
She said, this is what she said.
Favorite movie.
She said, I'm an actress and this is what I do, okay? And I mean, they're identical in this video, okay?
Of all time.
And I need air to be circulating. And
I mean, are you deaf? Are you deaf? Sorry about that. You know, this happens here and there. Out my videos. It's life. We'll get through it. Yeah, listen to it again.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lauren London, and I am sitting here with the amazing Nipsey Hussle the Great. This is the GQ couples quiz. Are you ready? He's always ready. See, he stays ready, so he doesn't have to get ready.
Look at the hands. They are identical.
He's like, no, I need air to be circulating because my dad had COVID. And
You got the script.
Movie of all time. If I'm an actress. So, what is my favorite movie of all time?
And I need air to be circulating, and so we can't roll the window up. So he rolls my window back down, and then, mind you, all the rest of the windows are down. So
You got like.
So, what is my favorite movie of all time?
we're going a little bit further on the 405, and I just politely roll my personal window up. I'm in the back seat passenger. And he's like,
So, what is my favorite movie of all time?
mind you, he's all the way to the
You got the
left.
script, man.
You know, say about actresses. So, what is my favorite movie of all time?
The lane that, like, if you get into a wreck, you can
So, what is my favorite movie of all time?
He stops the car. He gets
I mean,
out.
if you don't see the twinning here, I don't know what to tell you. That's the best clip of them twinning. Even look at the still shot. We're gonna get into some pictures, but a little. This is clips of when they were younger. They were even identical when they were younger. I went back some years to get like a comparisons of their videos.
I'm 21 and I'm from Texas City, Texas. I just think I'm so fine.
My first real serious relationship, he took me to Bennigan's and
Big spender.
no,
I'm just really pretty and I have a good personality.
right.
God bless me.
He took me to Bennigan's and I was so nervous.
Look at this. Look how they look right here. I mean, their face,
I'm about to be partying.
everything.
I ain't trying to be in love. I don't
Being around him, and I didn't want to eat in front of a boy that I
I'm
ordered
about
ice
to
cream
ruin my body.
the whole day, and he was looking at me like this little bird.
They're doing the
But then
same
we
thing with
laughed,
their
like,
hands and everything, snapping their hands, doing everything exactly identical.
I'll be better than
Like 6 months after that, I was still nervous around him.
walk in the room, like, I make a statement just by walking in the room.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys if you don't get it from there. So here, Mehgan, she wrote, Babe came out in my reading today. Which she's, I guess, assuming is Tupac is her babe. And I mean, I guess Lauren London couldn't help herself and had to say something about Tupac on Mehgan's page because Lauren London is super obsessed with Tupac to the point where she used to irritate me before I realized that Tupac is well and alive. I used to be super devoted to the thug lifestyle of his ideologies. I used to hold on to it and speak like him and really grasp on to, you know, they did a good number on me, influencing me with this guy. And Lauren London used to get on my last nerves posting Tupac every other day. If you go to her Instagram page, she has like over 100 pictures of Tupac along with Aaliyah. And, you know, I'm born on the same day as Aaliyah. So I used to be like, yeah, she's so annoying. Like, you know, those are my two faves because Aaliyah and me had the same birthday. So I always like used to shout her out and things like that, which I do not anymore because she's well and alive as well, I believe. If not, she still was a player in the game. If they sacrificed her, I mean, that's something she signed up for. So don't really feel bad for any of these people that actually get sacrificed because they know what the rules are in exchange of living a better life than just working a career-based job or a 9-to-5. They chose to have more freedom and if having freedom and these clearance passes, it comes with a cost. Okay, so yeah, so that's another coincidence of the Tupac references. She's obsessed, and then she tried to reference him as babe, like she's obsessed, but you know, that probably was Lauren London just couldn't help herself on this page. Lauren London, I couldn't even find her speaking on her Instagram page. She barely speaks. You're only going to get to see her when she's doing any promotions, business-wise. She does not do much personally. You're not going to catch much from her. And that's why I believe she's not the main base character, that she's actually being played by most likely Mehgan. I believe Mehgan is... I believe Mehgan could be the base character, or it could be the Chyna girl.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lauren London.
They also say, you know, that Mehgan... when she first went on a Bad Girls Club, she kept insisting that she was like related to Obama or something like that. She was saying like she was Obama's stepdaughter or things like that nature. And then she tried to clarify. So, you know, you see the games that they were playing with this character, period. You know, that she's supposed to be like in higher echelon group, you know, of people. Like she's not some regular girl, you know. And then she does address it in here. And they say a lot of people want to know why you call yourself Obama's stepdaughter. And she says, first of all, it's effing reality TV. Let it go. What does that mean? If it's effing reality TV, what are we letting go? It's supposed to be reality. We should be letting all of this stuff go. That she's absolutely right. We should be letting people that says let something go, that it like this is reality TV, but insinuating that it's fake. It's a big joke, okay? It's a big joke on us, okay? Yeah, I think y'all watching real fights and real this and real that when a girl linked her head in and let her have at her. Because that's the role, that's the script and the role that she plays. She plays pretty, bougie, badass girl. That's her role. So, and that's for Lauren London as well. It's the same script. So yeah, she says, first of all, it's effing reality TV, let it go. So basically she's acting like she was lying about being Obama's stepdaughter, even though she referenced it plenty of times in her Bad Girl Club role. And people got to realize Lauren London wasn't really doing much at this time when she came on to play this role. So you got to understand that they keep these people working. Okay, just like I showed you the monkeys in that other clip, it was like a reference. Well, they have to go to work. They have to work and put on that show. For their bosses. So yeah, she says, I'm a boss B-I-T-C-H, and I should get presidential treatment, and I feel like I'm the princess and the queen, and I should be treated like royalty. Why? You're on the Bad Girl Club. We never knew you before that. You're coming from nowhere. You're supposed to be like some regular person and from a neighborhood, like coming on TV. So why do you expect this treatment? That everyone that plays a big role and comes and plays, just like Tiana with Dream Door, they go on to being coming on a show like they already were somebody, if you know what I mean, you know, by that. So yeah, of course she's gonna come on the show acting like, you know, she has all these connections and she should be treated better than other people because she was Lauren London before she got here. So she probably was like, I'm one of the big names that they're putting on here. You know, this is a production team. They probably get some big names, probably get some small little no time names from the communities that they're growing these people up in. They get some of them working, even if they don't become A-listers. They still need some of these people to be working, and they bring some A-listers on as well and put some prosthetics on, and boom, you got somebody like this born character. But anyway, let's get back into that. I just wanted to interlude a little bit, and then they also tried to compare her to Char.
If Nikki came into this house thinking she's gonna run it, she has another thing.
So yeah, she does kind of similar Char. Char is from the Bad Girls Club as well, but are you really getting the same voice and the same look like Lauren London? I don't get the same voice. I would never say that this is Lauren. I would never say Char is Lauren London. I don't get twin vibes. This is the case of look alike. We're not talking about lookalikes. We're talking about twins, sisters, first cousins, direct descendants from each other. This is what in sync. This girl is not in sync.
If Nikki came into this house thinking she's gonna run it, she has another thing coming. You can either stand beside me or behind me. That's it. No one's in front of me.
Like I don't. She looks more like Vanessa Simmons or something like that. I would not give her Lauren London. I would not compare the two to Lauren London. Okay. But we're going to get into some pictures now so we could really bring it home. Okay, and I just want to show you guys, like, yeah, she might have, they have like the very similar shape, but they're still putting body parts on Mehgan, because as I stated, she's like the, you know, they have to do like the upper one is like more toned down, and the other one is like over the top, flamboyant, transgender. I say these are trans, like, gender looks, because they have like the fake boob and the fake butt, and I mean, a man could do this. So it's nothing impressive about this look anymore, because a man could give you this look. Okay, so I want to show you how they're getting this look together. Oh, no. I don't want that song in here, because they would definitely flag for that song. Yeah, this is how they do it. Look how this thing falls at some point, and she pushes it back up. If this thing is failed and it's all messed up, what would be the point of you pushing it back up in place? What would be the point? And then when she pushed it back up, it kind of stayed, didn't it? Or am I bugging? When she pushed it back up, it kind of stayed in place. Because these are prosthetic parts. They figure out a way to put these things attached. You see how it slipped down and she slipped it back up. You think she really wanted to show you guys that? They try to make fun and show. I mean, shout out to IMC's. This is definitely most likely Keisha Cole. I mean, the face, the horse, the same horse kind of face, and it's there. It's there. They got the same strong voice, same kind of music material. It's there. Sometimes, like a bit say, you will have to reinvent yourself, because sometimes people can't be Beyonce and have 8 albums go platinum because they just love Beyonce. Some people, they have to change the road. Keisha Cole, every album she was making was not going straight to the top. So then that's when, as a bit say, you may have to reinvent yourself. So when you come back as this and then have another hit album, you realize, wow, I did need to reinvent myself, because my albums weren't being a hit. The third album wasn't being a hit, but then when I reinvented myself as her, hit album. So I just wanted to show you how, like, yeah, if it was already slopping down, how did it fall down, and why did she pick it back up? Okay? Do y'all get that? Does that make any sense? If it makes, it's like they're trying to make, it's like a super mockery. She did it, like she said, she even did an interview and said she did that on purpose. And what would be the purpose of doing that? You came flopping your butt around thinking it was fine and intact, and then it slipped down, and then you slipped it back up. That sounds like an attack on to me, not a medical malfunction of your butt, because it would have already just been sagging, period. And you would have never made that video, or it would have been just flopping from the beginning. But it flopped in the middle of that video, and she was very aware of it, because they want you to know that they're adding body parts on, and you guys just never knew. Okay, Keisha Cole has no butt. So, of course, she adds on the butt here with this character. But let's get back to these guys. I just wanted to show you how they're adding things on, and this is how they're capable of getting the bigger boob and the bigger butt on these people. But as you can see, yeah, it's no way that you're comparing her to Shar, and you're not comparing her to Laura London. She looks way more like Laura London than she ever does of the girl Shar that I just showed you. But I mean, come on. You telling me they're going to compare her to her, but they're not going to compare her to Laura London? Are you slow, or are you deaf? Like, you can't see? Something wrong with your eyes? Okay? I mean, they didn't even freaking change much here. All right? You do the same thing, same mouth open, slightly same eye stare. They like to have their hair pulled back. I mean, it's like another, I had to do like a still shot of a video, but you can see the resemblance. I think they just add on a little bit to her cheekbone. Okay? They like to do the similar stances. Multiple pictures like this. Laura London loved this look, and she loves it as well. I know a lot of people does this, but they're doing it so similar. They do it very similar. This is like a side view. Like I said, you see how shiny this is? I think I showed you guys, it was a movie with the Black Panther guy where he just recently passed, and he was really skinny in that movie, along with the lady from the murder she wrote. I don't know, Murder the Files. I don't know her name, but she played in like that Channel 7 show of Murder, she wrote. That movie where the lady that played in the murder show, she had on prosthetic from her face to her neck to her legs to her ankles. They added her on and it looked very shiny. And I just want you guys to understand that the prosthetic plastic, it always look like they have like some type of plastic surgery going on, but it's really just a build-up prosthetic on their face. They just wanted her cheekbones to stand out a little bit more. Okay? That's the only thing they're changing on her. Everything else is there. They're not in heavily made up. Lauren London has the same kind of amount of hair just like her. It's like, you see her hair right here, Lauren London. And then here goes Mehgan. Look at them. Okay? They just add on a little prosthetics with this character. This is Lauren London. This is Mehgan. They have the same mouth structure. Everything is just identical. They didn't do much changing because they didn't believe that we would like really care about her being on this show. So that's all I really have. As you can see, Lauren London is very busy. I don't believe Lauren London was ever an actual person. I believe that she is being played either by Mehgan or from this Chyna hustle girl. I'm not sure who's the original character, but we can see that they all are all an affiliation of the same exact group of being most likely the same person, allegedly, in my opinion. And my opinion is based off of factual videos and pictures and in research that I have done. So I could say it's a fact that they are the same person, but you know, we're going to keep it cute for YouTube and say allegedly, in my opinion, if this is what I believe from what they have been presenting to us. It's been nothing but scripted stuff, fake imaginary families and relationships, and they all get along happy and then not getting along because they're all a part of the same stuff. Okay, let me see if I could get the YouTube. I'm gonna try to get the YouTube page that the guy is on. Here we go. Check him out. I would recommend you to check everything out if you're like a flat earther or things like that, and you're trying, I don't think he's not referencing that Earth is actually flat. He's referencing that we're most likely on the moon. If you ever saw the show with Jim Carrey, I forget, they always reference this movie to this kind of where he was like he was being video recorded on TV all his life. I forget the name of the movie for this second. But if you see the movie begins with Jim Carrey, it begins with them showing the moon in the background from when he comes off a set. It's like he was coming off into the moon. So I wouldn't be shocked and surprised that they, just check out the channel. He gives a great explanation of a good explanation of how they come up with these biblical tales. And if you want to get an idea of these children popping up out of nowhere, think the Hive Mind Queens. Check this video out. He gives a great rendition of how they are figuring out how to make these children. They are replicating what human beings are doing, and they are able to produce. That's why they have us here, because they do still need to use us and replicate. And they study these bugs. They study everything. They study human beings as well. So like, you gotta get a good insight of. He gives you a good insight of where these children may be popping out like popcorn from. And as I stated, they need to give them back, because we don't need them to continue to build these armies of androgynous children. As you saw Benzino's daughter, and ain't that a scam in it all, where she never incited that Benzino's her father. She gets on, and then it's like, oh well, yeah, my father's Benzino. It's like, we're the humble beginners that they swear they're coming from. Like, how is Benzino your father, but yet you're like this person that's just striving to try to make it. He's a producer himself. Like, it couldn't have been that hard to get some connections and get in the studio and make a hit. It couldn't have been hard for her. But let them tell it different before they. And I don't even know why they admitted to that. It's part of the scandals. I don't think that's his real kid. It's one of them popcorn kids as well. But as you can see, Benzino's daughter, they try to push all this androgynous people on us, where you can't identify their gender. And this video will kind of give you an idea of why they all are androgynous. I am going to also try to do a video on male and woman, how the body and the bone structure is. So I can start to show you a lot of women that's showing male bone structure, and I don't know how they are female, if they are having male bone structure. I even compared the bone structure for me and my boyfriend and realized that male and female bone structure is very different. And they just blatantly have the male bone structure right out in our face. So I'm going to do a video go over that and you know, take a look. The last channel that I showed you about, the YouTube guy that does, he did like analyzations of transgender, you know, investigator, that channel. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, that channel, it helped me see the bone structure. So that's going to be the base of that video, where I'm going to go, they like blatantly put it in our face that, I don't know how you're going to, I don't know. We'll see with the video. I'll try to explain my best in the video what I mean. I have a lot of pictures of people where I'm just like, I don't understand how they have male bone structure, but they're supposed to be female. That they're presenting in bikinis and things like that in front of your face, but they have male bone structure. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys, man. Like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, later.